dead to begin with. There's no doubt whatever about that. Professor James Moriarty, the Napoleon of crime, was as dead as a doornail at the time of this story. Though the great detective, Sherlock Holmes, my dearest friend, would fault that as an unnecessary metaphor and an inappropriate way to begin a narrative founded on fact. These, then, are the facts. The year was 1894. The evening, Christmas Eve. The location, 221B Baker Street. The lodgings I had at one time shared with Holmes. 3 years before, Moriarty, the criminal mastermind and mathematical genius, known to the underworld as the Professor, fell or locked in mortal combat with Holmes into the destructive torrent of Reichenbach Falls in central Switzerland. At the time, I and the rest of the world mourned Holmes, supposing him as dead as his nemesis. Ordinary Londoners who knew him only by repute wore black armbands for weeks afterwards. But Holmes was not dead. My friend, a master of the Japanese wrestling known as Baritsu, had instead flung his enemy into the dreadful cauldron of swirling foam below. And he spent the next 3 years eluding Moriarty's henchmen, traveling to some of the most mysterious and inaccessible parts of the globe. Tibet, Mecca, Khartoum. Upon his return from the dead, I had greeted him enthusiastically, but in the months since, I had seen little of him, and my letters to him received no reply. My own story begins with a Christmas carol. It was snowing in London that Christmas Eve with a crisp wind that was a welcome respite from the pea soup fogs we had suffered through the season. On my way home, fortified with a bag of roast chestnuts, I heard a group singing a good old-fashioned English carol. My favorite. As it happened, it was Holmes' favorite as well. Particularly the verse about he who saved us all from Satan's power when he had gone astray. For if any man is familiar with the dealer of evil, it is Holmes. The song and the season precipitated a detour to her own lodgings at Baker Street. Mrs. Hudson, his long-suffering landlady, let me in with her key. Thank you so much, Mrs. Hudson.
Of course, sir.
I would always wait downstairs.
Oh, nonsense. You are always welcome here, even if Mr. Holmes is out. He would never object to a visit from you.
Well, I hope not.
Some of his visitors. I've had the most of little boys coming round the past several days, real gutter snipes, badgering me to speak with him.
Perhaps young Wiggins, or one of his other Baker Street irregulars.
Unsanitaries would be a better name for him.
Oh, a new place for letters. And there are mine, unopened. I see.
Oh dear, I'll clean up some of these. No wonder I've been short of plates in the kitchen.
What is all this?
He has been distracted, sir.
By what?
His chemistry, apparently. It's all he's been working on lately.
Oh, some sort of forensic inquiry.
Well, whatever it is, it smells awful. Often. Perhaps it's just this room. Oh, he has been a bear, never letting me in for a good cleaning.
No, that's Holmes.
No. He's changed, sir. Very solitary.
Well, that has always been his way. He has a great distaste for society.
Alone in this place, pacing the floors, scarcely taking time to eat.
Deep thinking, I'll warrant it, must be a particularly trying case.
Dr. Watson, he has not been seeing any clients.
No clients?
No, sir.
Oh, that scarcely seems likely, Mrs. Hudson.
Not for months. He's been turning them away. He's even cancelled his subscription to the Times.
Oh, that doesn't sound like Holmes at all.
He's so very changed, sir. Very distant. More than usual, even. He slides notes and the rent under my door. Never a moment for a chat. I saw him as he went out this afternoon, and I wished him Merry Christmas, and he said...
Oh, what did he say, Mrs. Hudson?
He said nothing. Walked right past me without saying a single word. That man who's caused me such grief with his smells
Hudson?
Always so polite, always so interested in everything, and now he makes me feel like an imposition in my own house.
He has his moves.
Know that, sir. I'm not sure this one will ever lift. Well, how are things in your household, Dr. Watson?
Oh, well enough. I've been invited to spend the holidays with my late wife's uncle and her family.
Oh, I am glad to hear that. I've thought of you often these last few months. How have you been?
Well, there are good days and poor. I can but thank the Almighty for the time we had together, though it was but 3 brief years.
Oh, Mrs. Watson was such a lovely woman. She had such a great heart.
Oh, a great heart.
Oh, she shone like a jewel. She was positively the nicest woman I've ever met. I mourn your loss, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, it's been 11 years since I lost my Robert. I still miss him every day. Well, a spot of tea, perhaps?
Oh, no, thank you.
I'll leave you to wait for Mr. Holmes, then. Merry Christmas, sir.
And to you as well, Mrs. Hudson.
I would advise against a closer examination, Doctor.
Holmes!
That bottle contains ethanoic acid, as you might guess from the sour vinegar odor. Or perhaps not. Chemistry was never your strong suit.
I'm so sorry, little man. I didn't mean to surprise you.
You didn't. The faint imprint of your boot in the hall was telltale, despite your customary efforts to try to clear the mud from your heel. Well, why are you here?
Oh, rather fresh greeting, old chap.
I'm terribly busy today and have no time for social calls.
Well, what's got you so busy?
A series of chemical experiments. I won't waste time trying to explain them to you, quite beyond your understanding, now that I've replenished my supply.
Ah, yes, the parcels.
Elementary. You perhaps thought that they were gifts for my non-existent nieces and nephews.
Holmes, your rooms are not looking their best.
I'm an untidy housekeeper. You of all people should know that.
Well, untidy, yes, but this verges on squalor.
I'll leave a note for Mrs. Hudson. I'm traveling to Liverpool next week to supervise a small shipment of chemicals. I will be absent for 2 days. She can clean them.
Yes, your recent behavior to
Yes.
I understand that you have been uncivil.
Uncivil? I have scarcely seen the woman.
Your avoidance of her then, Holmes. How do you think that makes her feel?
I have no idea. A woman's heart and mind are insoluble puzzles to me. That was always your department, as I recall.
Women are, after all, as human as the rest of us.
Oh, Doctor, you are ever capable of a compliment to the fair sex. No wonder you have been so popular with them. Let me see. How many times have you married?
Wives.
I have such trouble keeping track. No disrespect meant toward your late wife, of course.
Look, yeah, Holmes, you are no doubt distracted by some case or another.
Case! Cases, Doctor, are the distraction.
Distraction?
Clients and their dreary and predictable complaints. Broken marriage contracts, indiscreet letters that must be retrieved. Crimes of passion clumsily concealed. People are puzzles and problems, nothing more.
Oh, you don't believe that!
Oh, indeed I do, Doctor. Humanity has a vast complaining collection of uninteresting dilemmas, with each person believing their quota unprecedented and unique. What was written on the walls of Pompeii is true to this day. Sub soli nihil novi est. There is nothing new under the sun. Now again, might I ask, why are you here?
A visit. In honor of the season.
Christmas?
Indeed.
An occasion chiefly celebrated by the thoughtless exchanging the unnecessary.
I am unaware of Christmas ever doing you any harm.
Oh, it wearies me, as do unexpected visitors more often than not.
Holmes, I send you notes, and I hear nothing from you. I speak with Lestrade and other officers, and they see nothing of you, so a visit seemed in order. How is your health?
Of no concern to you.
But have you been indulging in the...
Oh, no more than usual, Doctor. My current experiments keep me sufficiently occupied and away from the 7% solution you have upon occasion berated me about. Now again, might I ask, for the third time, why are you here?
I am concerned for your welfare.
Oh, an interesting hypothesis.
The truth!
Perhaps. Let me posit another. Your medical practice is not going well, and you've had financial setbacks. As a result, you've recalled the income to be gained from publishing stories drawn from my cases.
What?
Stray collar and mismatched cufflinks reveal the lack of a domestic servant. You've lost weight since I saw you last, meaning that you are eating at that abominable club of yours. There's tallow on the rim of your bowler, indicating that you are using candles to light your way to bed to save on the cost of the gas. Finally, the scuff on your shoes shows that you are walking to cases, not taking a cab, a necessary expense when you are busy, an extravagance when you are not. Thus, your presence here this evening.
I hardly know what to say.
A not uncommon occurrence.
Holmes, while it is true that my practice has been quiet of late,
I have been beneficial to your pocketbook in the past.
I hear from Mrs. Hudson that you stopped taking cases.
Correct.
Oh, but why?
They bore me.
Holmes, I thought that they were the only things that truly interested you.
I had a revelation during the middle of my last case, Doctor. A dreary affair, a murder. The victim, a young servant girl, and the suspect, a common rogue. He did it. I could see that at a glance, and his alibi collapsed under a few probing questions. I looked at this young man, who'd murdered for nothing more than casual lust, and a pocket full of change, and I realized I was bored. Since there was no puzzle, I had no interest. Crime is common. Logic is rare.
Really, Holmes, you can't be serious about giving up your work.
It is not my work. It is the work that others expect of me. My work is with these chemicals. They produce results based upon scientific method. Reliable, predictable, and unlike people, dependable. Now, if you will excuse me, I would like to return to them.
Holmes, what would you say if I were to stop by a bit more frequently? You've had a bit too much of a solitary life of late. It can breed odd fancies in a man.
I am a man who has endeavored to limit my fancies, Doctor. Imagination and fancy can cause more damage to the rational mind than a lit match in an ammunition store. Now, unless you have any further business with me.
No business. Just a small gift, which I shall leave here.
Probably an article of clothing. Most likely a muffler or a hat.
Please, do deduce what it is without unwrapping it. It's always so much fun when you use your great intellect to make me feel like a fool.
Why, Doctor, I seem to have raised your temper.
You have. And I am sorry for it. And for you. May the spirit of Christmas bring you a more amenable mood.
The spirit of Christmas, a particularly dangerous fancy, Doctor. Its sentimental assertion that mankind is a subject worthy of special attention is one that I can all too easily refute.
Though you call it a fancy, I wish you a Merry Christmas.
Goodbye, Doctor. years I was presumed to be dead, I chose not to tell him nor you of my continued existence. Why should I want him to have access to my quarters?
We simply meant to offer you the compliments of the season.
Dr. Watson, like yourself, has had quite enough profit from me.
Sir?
I realize that I am an unconventional lodger. However, I pay you rent so far in excess of the standard rate that if I so wished, I could purchase this entire building outright.
It's true, you are very generous.
So, is it unreasonable to expect some discretion?
Discretion, sir?
Mrs. Hudson, I wish to be left alone. If you are unwilling to respect my privacy, perhaps after the first of the year, we should renegotiate our current agreement. It would no doubt be better for my work and serenity if I were to leave Baker Street and discover lodgings less known to the general public.
You wish to leave?
If my repeated requests for some solitude aren't met, yes.
Mr. Holmes, I truly regret if you feel I've given you inadequate service. But if you plan on being as quarrelsome, uncivil, and generally unpleasant as you've been these past several months, you would be better served to find a landlady who can put up with you. Because, Mr. Holmes, I cannot!
Women?
Mr. Holmes.
Oh, no. No, Lestrade. I am not at home.
Mr. Holmes, I heard your voice. I know that you are in there.
A brilliant deduction, detective.
Mr. Holmes. I have been trying to contact you for several days now, but you have been unresponsive.
I am not in a receiving mood.
Mr. Holmes, I'm aware it is Christmas Eve, but I've come to see you on a matter of some official importance. I need not take up more than an hour or two of your time.
Lestrade?
It would appear, on the face of it, to be a simple burglary, albeit one involving some exalted personages. You know Lord Arthur Basington?
Of the Shropshire Basington large man with a red face and a wife who was invariably dripping with jewelry.
Precisely. His house was broken into 2 weeks ago, and thieves made off with a large amount of that jewelry from a locked safe in the study. Lord Basington identified one of the criminals who he saw signaling to his gang through the study window. It was a young clerk, formerly of his employ. But we've had no luck tracking down the other culprits. We suspect gypsies.
Gypsies?
Yes! Lord Basington has had several unfortunate encounters with gypsies. Now, the clerk had been in the house on previous occasions, and we have witnesses who place him near Lord Basington's estate on the evening in question. He has no alibi, but he insists he's not involved in any robbery.
I see.
Less luck tracking down the gypsies, I'm afraid. Probably moved on by now.
That being their roving nature.
Yes, exactly. Now, I've this young constable, Harrison, who feels there are certain irregularities with the case against the young man. So, we were wondering if you might look over the evidence he's pulled together, perhaps pop up to the estate and give it your attention for a few hours.
No.
Well, obviously not tonight, but perhaps after Christmas.
I am not interested.
But Mr. Holmes, I thought you'd be eager to be associated with our investigation.
How have I benefited from my association with you, Lestrade? The simple answer is, I have not.
Well, that's a bit rum, Mr. Holmes. I regularly let it be known that your assistance in the occasional puzzler is appreciated. Even if you do lack the training and experience of a professional such as myself.
You would have been out of a job years ago if it were not for my insights, which you have routinely appropriated as your own.
Well, you've certainly benefited in terms of professional reputation.
Reputation? Backhanded compliments given out to the newspapers, resulting in more uninteresting people and their thoroughly uninteresting cases. What care I for Lord Bassington? From what I read in the newspapers, he's a man with too much money, too little sense, and a vindictive temper.
Yes, but there's the matter of the young clerk, sir.
Do you believe him guilty of this crime?
I do.
Good enough for me. You are the police inspector after all. I am the untrained dilettante. I have been useful to you in the past. Now pray, be useful to me by leaving.
Mr. Holmes, I must say, I have in the past considered you not only a highly gifted mind, but something of a friend. I have enjoyed your occasional jests, even at my own expense, but I find nothing friendly in your current behavior.
Then for once, Inspector, your deductions are flawless. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Sentimental claptrap. Oh, Merry Christmas. As good to say, surprising autumn, or jocular Wednesday. Oh, I'm heartily sick of this nonsense and all these distractions. My dressing gown and a pipe and some contemplation. Yes, that is what is called for. A brief rest upon the couch, and then back to work. Knocking. Knocking. And more knocking. I am not at home.
Holmes.
Professor Moriarty.
Present.
Or so it appears.
So, come, Holmes. Begin.
Begin?
Did you swear here?
Firstly, I doubt very much that you are here.
Oh, your reasoning?
Sight and sound to the contrary. I saw you plunge to your death down Reichenbach Falls 3.5 years ago.
I could have been lucky and a strong swimmer.
I saw you bounce off the rocks of the cliff on your way down twice.
Nonetheless, here I am.
Assuming you are not someone who is like myself, a master of disguise.
I was not.
No, none of the telltale marks of theatrical grease paint on your cuffs or collar. Moriarty had no twin brother.
I did not.
Oh, then we turn to the physiological. I am not running a fever. My tongue is not coated. I have not indulged in any recreational drugs within the last 48 hours. And none of the chemicals that I am currently working with cause hallucinations.
Even in combinations?
Let me check. No. Further, I am not asleep, as evidenced by this. Do not suffer from indigestion, and am not aware of any significant history of mental illness in my family. Therefore, I assume you are a ghost.
Oh, well done, Holmes. You've saved me a lot of dreary amateur theatrics, clanking chains and that sort of thing.
But let me make sure. Well, we are about to exhaust all other hypotheses.
I am surprised to see that you can come to the knowledge that I am an apparition without some semblance of fear or awe.
Where there is no imagination, there is no horror.
Ever the materialist, Holmes.
Matters of the spirit or its existence in the afterlife have no interest to me.
They should.
Why?
My visit to you tonight is a small part of a great penance I must make.
With what purpose?
So that you will not suffer as I suffer now.
That makes no sense. You were a ruthless criminal.
Oh, the Napoleon of crime.
Whose network stretched like an infection into every level of society, from gin swinging to drug running, from pickpockets to jewel thefts.
But never dog fights. I was exceedingly fond of dogs.
Whereas I have never used my intellect in any sort of criminal activity, I've resorted to violence rarely, and only twice with fatal results. Once, to avoid death from a poisoned dart fired by a native of the Andaman Islands, and once...
Myself.
Indeed, I was your executioner.
Oh, you were my murderer.
Executioner, I exacted justice upon you for the misery you perpetrated upon others.
You believe you are the exclusive agent of justice.
In your case, yes. You were so far above the power of the law that you were never charged for a crime more consequential than littering.
I won the littering case.
You bribed the judge.
So the only way we could settle our differences was hand-to-hand combat?
As fair a contest as could be provided.
Oh, I was a mathematician. What chance had I in a fight with a man who was an expert fencer and a boxer and practitioner of body too?
I felt the stiletto blade in your sleeve, Moriarty, when I grabbed your wrist.
And I saw the smile on your face, Holmes, as you flung me into the void. I know you, Holmes. I and I alone have seen what you are, what you can be. Not that idiot Watson with his dog-like devotion, nor any other living soul. And what I saw was the murderer under that cold, rational mind.
You would have killed me if you could.
Oh, of course. But have a care, Holmes. It is no fine, bright line of morality where taking a life is concerned. Call it what you will.
If you are to haunt me, then get on with it. But I have no regret for your death.
I am not here for revenge. As an act of my penance, I must seek your salvation.
There is a shadow of a cosmic order in such a plan.
You have remarked on how we are different, but there is one way in which we are very alike.
In what way?
Oh, brilliant minds which raise us far beyond the common crowd of mankind.
Oh, I confess that from my point of view, London has become a singularly uninteresting city since your death.
Ah, yes, your most worthy opponent, the only mind you ever encountered who played the game as well as you.
Until, of course, your unfortunate demise.
Holmes, the afterlife is altogether different than what you might expect.
Table tapping and messages from beyond and all that sort of thing.
Spiritualists. If there is one noise that pierces the veil between the living and the dead, it's the lamentable howls of those people.
What does death feel like to your senses?
agony. Regret. Regret. I lived a life of destruction and death. I plotted and schemed in my solitary rooms, and untold misery to others was the result. I allowed myself to love or be loved, which is the greatest sin of all. I am damned, Holmes. And if you do not heed me, you will be damned just as surely. A terrible infinity is a shred of tattered soul.
Moriarty, in life you are a thorough villain. Why should I believe anything else of your shade?
Well, I am not your haunting, Holmes. I am merely the herald of your haunting. You will be visited by 3 separate spirits on 3 evenings. One in 1 hour at the stroke of 1. The second on the second night at the stroke of 2. And the third on the third night at the stroke of 3.
And the purpose of these hauntings?
To lend you some instruction I would have well profited from.
You could have not have benefited from any instruction. You had a criminal stain in your blood. You were beyond any hope of reform.
Pray that you are not. Oh, what? Just it is a series of mysteries. It will engage that infernal mind of yours, won't it? Well then, let's see if you can solve the riddle of who you are and what you will become. Look for me no more, Holmes. Tonight is but a stone picked from the mountain of sins I am to spend eternity endeavoring to move. Though I hated you, you were a worthy opponent and deserved my hatred. Escape my fate. Remember me. Remember.
Imagination. Fancy and imagination. Nothing more. A dream. A fever dream. Listen. The quarter hour. All is right and regular as a steadfast church bell. It is a quarter hour, and I have been dreaming idle fancies. The half hour, it has not been another quarter. Perhaps the clock is the next quarter. This is scarcely credible. If it were so, then the next stroke would be 1.
Sherlock Holmes. William Sherlock Holmes.
And you are, I deduce, the first spirit whose coming was foretold to me.
I am.
I would assume, being a spirit, that you would not have a profession. Yet you are dressed as a nurse of the Crimean War, though festooned with holiday decorations.
You were born at a time of war, William, and I am the ghost of Christmas past.
My past, I deduce.
Indeed.
If you reflect the martial aspect of my birth here, why do you appear as a nurse and not a soldier?
Christmas, even at a time of war, is a time of peace.
Wars. A periodic necessity, I fear, to keep mankind in check. Well, let us not tarry. I must dress and grab my coat.
You have no need of these where we are going. Follow me.
Through the window? I am like to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand here, and be lifted in more than spirit. Do you recognize this place?
I do. My boyhood home in Sussex, the country house where I was born. It has changed very little since that time, I dare say. Though I am surprised to see so little snow on the ground.
This is a Christmas of times past, not today, William.
Do not call me that. It is not the name that I use.
But it is the name that she used, is it not?
William? William, come in, my dear. It's time for dinner.
Mother?
And shut the door. It's freezing.
Where is she?
Mother. Oh, William. Mother has a bad cold.
I'll close the door, Mother.
It's just a bad cold, my dear.
I'll take care of you, Mother dear.
Your mother is ill, William. You must play quietly.
I'm sure I'll be better by Christmas.
I'm sure as well, Mother.
We'll have such a lovely time.
I remember that winter.
William,
Mother?
William, there is bad news. She has left us, William. Now you must be a brave soldier and this hard work. I cannot supervise you as she was wont. My research takes up too much of my time. So you must show strength of character.
Yes, Father.
It's hard, I know. There's a temptation to sink into melancholy when faced with such events. But we must not do that.
No, Father.
Work, my boy. There's solace to be found in hard work. Well, I must finish my monograph. If you have need of me, leave a note at my door. Oh, and if you have need of anything else, well, cook will look after you.
So very sad.
It was, yes.
There is an injustice to a child losing his mother so young.
Injustice? No. An injustice can be remedied. Justice is but human.
Then what would you call it?
A misfortune. Something that could be overcome through strength of character and self-discipline.
You are fortunate to be able to cease your grieving. For a spirit 40 years ago was as keen to our perception as yesterday.
Then it is a blessing to be human.
It is, yes.
No one's fault. A mere accident of climate and mother's frail constitution.
Still, to be abandoned so young.
Yes. Poor boy. That was a very cold Christmas. I would offer him a word of comfort.
These are but shadows of what has been. They can neither see nor hear. But come, let us pass on to another Christmas in another room.
The upper library. Father's vast and eclectic collection. If I could have, I would have slept up here.
In fact, you did.
In fact, I did. Funny, that spirit. I had often forgotten that I would often bring a blanket up here and fall asleep amid the volumes. Father was preoccupied with his research.
A lonely child.
Lonely? No. Self-disciplined, focused on learning and self-improvement.
But even on Christmas Day,
A poor excuse for rest.
but not even for play.
To the child I was, reading was play.
Perhaps, but a melancholy play all the same.
Melancholy? No. Morbid, perhaps. This is where I first made the acquaintance of the Newgate calendar and its history of infamy.
So ended the life of the murderer and robber Isaac Atkinson. As he was such a noted highwayman, and besides that, a gentleman and a scholar, it was expected he would give a great speech. But at the gallows, he simply said, "Gentlemen, there is nothing like a merry life and a short one."
Unsavory characters for a young child.
Oh, nonsense. Atkinson and his ilk were a jolly lot, even if everyone came to a bad end. And it was an invaluable education in criminology.
Although likely to suggest a dark view of humanity. But there was something other than reading.
Ha! Music! My first fiddle, which Mother bought for me for her last Christmas.
It cheered you.
Though not Father, he found my attempts excruciating and hired me a tutor. We disagreed about how the instrument was to be played. I won, and the tutor left.
I see.
My early years were lonely spirited, I will not contest it. But solitude is the inevitable companion of genius.
Even when one has a brother.
An older brother, so unsociable that he would spend his holidays up at school, and now is scarcely seen outside his club.
But that was not ever so. Here is another Christmas.
Sherlock, my lad. Where are you?
Mycroft!
In the flesh, dear brother. Oh, so many stairs.
2 flights, dear brother. You need more regular exercise.
Nonsense, Sherlock. I need less. Exercise takes time from idleness. And I do idleness superbly well.
What are you doing down from Oxford?
Can't an elder brother come visit his sibling for some Yuletide cheer?
Does father know you're here?
He does not.
You must tell him.
I have. In a letter that is sitting for him on his desk. Now pack.
Pack for where?
For our trip, dear brother. I am taking you with me on my Christmas holiday.
Where?
To the greatest city in the world.
Paris.
No, you young fool. London. We will have adventures and scrapes from Whitehall to Golders Green, from Ealing Common to Tower Hill. Just you and your older, much more intelligent brother. Now pack.
It was a wonderful 3 weeks.
Christmas in London.
My first. The gaslighters down in Chancery, the fruit vendors down in Covent Garden, the rag and bone men down the archway, the noise and the smoke and the smell. That's when I fell in love with the city. And found my Stradivarius in a shop on Tottenham Court Road for 55 shillings.
Although it was worth much more than that in your mortal money.
Oh, to me it is priceless. The sound that comes forth from that instrument, even under my inexpert ministrations, could make devils weep and angels laugh.
And where is your violin?
Now it is somewhere in my rooms. I have not had the desire to practice lately.
And your brother?
Well, he has his own solitary tendencies. I wouldn't wonder if you'll be visiting him tomorrow evening.
Although you had your music, you still were lonely.
Oh, not for long. There was university. And then, a detour.
What a piece of work is a man. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust?
Bravo, William!
Becky?
Oh, you'll make a fine Hamlet.
Only if our current Hamlet should trip during the sword fight.
It might happen. He is fat and scant of breath.
And 40 years older than most students at Wittenberg.
Yes.
Well, I'm content to be a Fortinbras. More time for my studies.
What is it you're always studying?
Currently, the different qualities and appearances of tobacco ash.
Oh. Why?
I don't know precisely.
You're an odd man, William Escott.
An unfamiliar name.
My stage name. It would not do to have a Holmes treading the boards. My father would never have recovered.
Would you like to go over your lines with me?
They're memorized. I have a facility for such things.
Well, would you like to come downstairs and join the rest of the company for a glass of punch?
Emphatically, no.
Would you like to kiss me?
Emphatically, yes. Thus, from my lips, by thine, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips, the sin that they have took.
Sin from my lips? Oh, trespass, sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
Now then, William, those are the roles for us. You as Romeo and I as Juliet.
I am no Romeo, and you are no Juliet.
What? Am I not pretty enough?
You are extraordinarily pretty. However, Juliet was a 13-year-old girl from a privileged family in 16th century Verona.
And that's who I am when I say her words.
Nonsense. Who you are is a 23-year-old girl who's been with this company for 6 years, who hails from a village near Redruth in Cornwall, whose mother is deceased, and whose father is a miner, to whom you routinely send a portion of your earnings.
Have you been reading my diary?
Of course not.
Then how can you know all these things?
Really, it is elementary. While your elocution is excellent, I have on occasion heard you call meat pies pasties, as they're known in Cornwall, particularly in mining communities, most of which are rural. You habitually remove a portion of each pay packet you receive. You wear a locket, which you clutch with unconscious fervor when emotionally agitated. You've mentioned that you've played the role of Juliet 3 times with this company, and it has been in rotation for the past 6 years, as evidenced by our thrice-marked prompt copies.
And this you call elementary?
I confess, however, I also asked Langdale when you joined the company, simply as confirmation.
Why?
I noticed you.
And I you. Oh, I've heard that Langdale plans to put you on his lair to his movie open in Swansea. And that's just in January.
Thank you. This is no life for me.
But you've only been with us for a few months. Langdale admired your ague cheek. He told me so. And after the ITs, why not Romeo? They're practically the same man in different plays.
I am no actor.
But you have a great gift, William. You disappear into your roles until I see nothing of you.
A trick, just a certain facility I have, not a calling.
William, you could be the greatest actor since Irving. You not only have talent, but imagination.
Imagination is a dangerous thing.
Nonsense. It is the basis of all craft.
Your craft. My craft is...
What?
something else. I've not yet found something that I'd like to do. The law, the sciences, the city, they all only interest me insofar as they present puzzles.
But why seek out puzzles when life is so generous in providing them?
I should like to be someone who knows things that others do not. That is my destiny, not the life of an actor. And besides, it is time for me to go back home. My father is ill.
Oh, nothing serious, I hope.
I fear so. I need to be home.
You will come back.
I think not.
Oh, but I must return to the party.
What is wrong?
Nothing. I believe that we had an understanding.
What?
I believe that we had shared certain feelings.
Feelings?
William, I am in love with you.
I feared as much.
Feared?
Becky, whatever we may believe we feel before each other is no more real than this world of grease paint and backdrops.
This world of grease paint and backdrops is where I am the most alive.
Not to me, I fear.
You are when you give in to your passion.
Passion is a dangerous thing to cultivate.
Sometimes that brain of yours scares me.
My mind, Becky.
That's what I meant.
Well, say what you mean. A brain is an organ. A mind is the quality stored in and facilitated by that organ. You can be so imprecise. You are a very good actress. I will admit to it. However, I want to have an impact on the world, and not just the stage.
So you're just going to leave?
Yes. Why not leave with me?
What?
This is a hard scrabble existence, traveling from town to town, nights spent in squalid lodgings, playing 3 different roles a week while we study our lines for the 4th. Why not leave?
For what?
Life with me. We can marry if you like.
Are you proposing to me, William?
I suppose perhaps I am.
You would have me as your wife.
Oh, we would enjoy each other's company. You would be well provided for. On occasion, you do interrupt my concentration. However, with time, you can learn to avoid doing so.
That's what you want in a wife.
Companionship? Affection? Some degree of domestic order? Isn't that what a wife provides a husband?
Some women, perhaps. But what I want?
Such as?
Love. William, a shared life. A life of fulfillment and joy.
Love is such a foolish intangibility, and as for a shared life, you cannot mean a life like this, one where conflicts and dramas are enacted nightly, over and over to no consequence or conclusion.
Yes, why not? I love this world.
Illusion, triviality, and fancy. I am destined for greater things.
So am I, Mr. William Escott. Only I'm destined to find them on the stage.
Your foolish affection for this life is beyond my understanding.
Everything about me is beyond your understanding. Now I am truly glad that we share no scenes together. I have no intention of setting eyes on you again prior to your departure.
Goodbye, then.
Goodbye. William, you break my heart.
That is a metaphor. The heart cannot break.
Goodbye, William. And a Merry Christmas.
Goodbye, Becky. Goodbye. Foolish, foolish young man.
She loved you.
And I her. But we were young, and I did not know who I was or what I could become.
Such emotion from the young lady. And such regret, I fear, that I still see on your face.
I would explain myself or apologize, but now I cannot.
She died.
2 years later, yes. Of diphtheria while on a tour of America. I read of it in the Times.
You mourned her,
In my fashion,
and yet she was of no more than common intellect.
of uncommon spirit, then! Yet she wasted her potential on what? A life in the theater, a life without purpose.
Are you so sure, William? Each person must find what they believe to be their purpose. Hers was simply different from yours.
Let us leave this place. If you want to show me my past, show me somewhere else.
You have spent the last 3 Christmases abroad.
Yes, I have traveled throughout the East. To countries where they do not celebrate Christmas. Yet they seem as happy and blessed in their daily lives as any idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips.
Shall we visit those scenes as well?
Why, Spirit? Do you hope to discover some secret that I might have missed? You forget my powers of deduction. I observe everything. Oh, perhaps you imagine that I am embarrassed to have my biography laid bare before me. I am what I am. A creature of conscious choices. I am Sherlock Holmes. And even if I could, I would not forsake my intellect for the siren's call of emotion and physical passion.
A lonely life.
The life I choose.
As some do. But William, to never be twin to another is different from being alone. The world asks more from us than solitary industry.
What is greater about a man than his work?
The benefit of his work to other men.
Then let me get on with it. I am alone because I choose to be alone. You show me a past I cannot nor would not change. I am tired of this game. Return me to my rooms and depart.
As you wish, 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 wish.
Morning at last. Oh, and Mrs. Hudson has already been here with her infernal tidying. I won't be able to find anything for at least. Watson? What are you doing? What is he up to?
Oh, hello, Doctor. Terribly sorry. Doctor.
Yes.
Why are we whispering?
Oh, yes. Apologies, Mrs. Hudson. Holmes has stepped out this morning, so I have returned to hide his gift.
And you think he might be listening?
I have found in the last few months of living with him that he has an uncanny knack of discovering anything that I might do, even before I have done it.
He does have the knack.
So this is Christmas, and I thought he might enjoy a gift all the more if it were unexpected.
What did you get him?
A meerschaum.
Oh, is that a dog?
No, Mrs. Hudson, it's a pipe.
Oh.
No, he does enjoy his pipe.
That's a wonderful gift, Doctor. I'm sure he'll enjoy it, whether it's a surprise or no.
Oh, you think so?
Absolutely. Oh, Mr. Holmes is very lucky to have found you as a flatmate.
Well, a financial necessity for us both.
That's as may be, but I flatter myself to say that I am a good judge of character, and you two men complement each other wonderfully.
Compliment.
Well, Mr. Holmes is something of a bohemian, isn't he? With his dressing gowns and his chemistry experiments and his unusual visitors. You seem to calm his eccentricities.
Oh, but Mrs. Hudson.
Yes.
Where should I hide this confounded pipe?
My opinion?
Oh, please.
There.
He's a pipe rack.
Mr. Holmes may be a tremendously observant man, but he is a man. You can trust me. Put it in his pipe rack, it will be months before he discovers it.
Mrs. Hudson, you are a tremendously intelligent woman.
Glad I think so.
They were right. I had no idea a meerschaum was a present. I was much involved with the case at the time. Alone. Again. And it is still night. Or night again. No, all a dream there. One and two.
Sherlock Holmes, I presume.
And you are, it is clear, the second spirit.
Well, of course. Now, what else can you tell about me?
From your dress, you on your right hand suggests that you talk more of art than actually create it.
I might be left-handed.
Not with that holly in your left boutonniere.
Capital.
Your bohemian appearance suggests that you scorn conventional society and its governance, despite the security granted you as a citizen of the empire. In this time of peace and prosperity, you disdain conventional morality and smirk at those you consider bourgeois because of it.
You are correct in all particulars. So, you no doubt can guess my profession.
You are the zeitgeist, the spirit of this age.
Superb. Holmes, your reputation, which has even spread to the spirit world, is richly deserved. Now, step forward, have a drink, and get to know me better, man.
Oh, that's absinthe, is it not? I dislike its taste.
Oh, you'll enjoy this. It is, like myself, the essence of the holiday.
Absinthe, spicy, sweet. It gives you a feeling of warmth while it gives you the spins.
How like the Christmas season.
You scarcely seem dressed for Christmas.
How so?
You are extremely green for a winter celebration.
We live in a green age, my dear Holmes. Absinthe and green carnations, frivolity and bohemianism all find their most joyous expression in Christmas, the greenest day of all.
Its traditional colors tend more to the white and red.
You never met a metaphor you truly liked, did you, Holmes?
Very well. Christmas is green because it celebrates the triumph of green light over dark death. Whether that be the story of the Christ child, or how holly, mistletoe, cedar, and pine show color in the deepest snow.
An elegant answer, at least. Well, Spirit, do you have some shades to introduce me to?
Not shades of the past, man, but some who you know in the world outside your doors and have forsaken. Look how they celebrate the holiday you disdain. See the streets of your beloved London. Observe the people, from street sweepers to men of the city, from costermongers to peers of the realm. All who keep an open heart on this day are filled with my spirit. Like yourself, I am no respecter of social class. Now, let us visit a building familiar to you.
New Scotland Yard?
Where the guardians of law and property conduct their business in chaos and near poverty.
Lestrade, at work on Christmas Day?
I do not trust a public servant who works overtime. Such devotion to our government is a bad example to private industry.
Who's there?
Only me, sir.
Garrison, what are you doing in the office? You've a wife waiting for you at home with a goose cooking and a Christmas pudding to follow, I'll warrant.
I just thought I'd come by to see if you'd seen Mr. Holmes.
And so he said he won't take up the case.
But did you give him the details?
I tried. He insists he's retired.
Retired? Sherlock Holmes retired? Are you sure you heard it right?
Sorry to say it, Garrison, but though Mr. Holmes survived Reichenbach Falls, he's not been the same man since his death.
I just have a feeling about this case. The lack of any footprints on the ground outside the window.
No, I didn't notice that.
Doesn't notice much, does Lestrade?
These are but
Shades, I know, Spirit. Lucky for them, they can neither see nor hear me.
And the night was cloudy and dark. The young man would practically had to put his face up to the glass to have been seen from inside the room.
Good, Garrison. He's brighter than he looks.
Lord Basington said he distinctly saw the young man peering into the room and signaling to his confederates.
Confederate man, yes. Wish we had some idea who that was.
We have Lord Basington's description. Swarthy, colourful clothes, scarf tied round his head. Sounds like a gypsy to me.
But why would this young man, at one time an intimate with the family and a clerk in Lord Basington's offices, consort with gypsies?
Perhaps he's half gypsy.
Oh, Lestrade.
And there's the way he stopped the interview when we mentioned Lord Basington's daughter.
Probably doesn't want to get her involved in this old mess.
But she is involved. She is the only member of the family to have visited him since his incarceration. I think there's something going on between the two of them.
The beautiful daughter of a wealthy aristocrat and a clerk who takes home 18 shillings a month. Doubtful
He's covering for someone.
his gypsy cohorts. the magistrate then?
Jeffries. Do you know him?
Jeffries. Hard but fair.
Malevolent and despotic. A sadist with the intellectual perspicacity of a mollusk.
I'll make sure to have all of my notes together.
He'll need more than that.
You'll need more than that.
Oh, thank you, Lestrade.
You'll need some good old-fashioned luck.
Luck! Luck! The man needs evidence, he needs interviews, he needs insights.
What I need is home.
Precisely, an afternoon's work at most.
Holmes is all right, but he lacks training, and his hunches only take him so far.
Hunches? Hunches?
You just turn over your notes to that young man's solicitor, and I promise you, justice will be done.
Idiot! Justice isn't done. It must be fought for, championed.
What does it matter, Holmes?
What?
So the clerk goes to jail. He is a most ordinary young man, and if he is innocent, not guilty, what's of that?
It is an injustice. Any injustice, any perversion of the rule of law makes us less of a society.
But what can we do for society when they have such dreary and predictable complaints?
I am chastened spirit. But my efforts as a detective are not unique, as much as I would hope for them to be. There are other detectives, and they will take up the cases that I do not.
There are other detectives, but there is only one Sherlock Holmes. Do you consider what you mean to young men like Garrison? Is it not something to be a hero to others?
It is a responsibility and a burden. Let them seek out their heroes elsewhere.
Then let us visit someone who most decidedly does not see you as a hero.
A moment, my dears, I must catch my breath. Oh, John, is that you?
Ah, hello, Timothy.
Oh, we missed you during the dancing.
Oh, I'm not much one for dancing. No, I feel that old Giselle bullet every time I step onto the dance floor.
I thought you had got shot in the shoulder, John.
I was. But for some reason, I feel it in my leg.
Well, the weather gives my leg a bit of a twinge as well. But no matter, the season revives it. Now come, party games are next and then dinner.
Dancing, dinner, and party games? Oh!
I'm afraid I must be off. I've got an early appointment tomorrow.
What, on Boxing Day?
Well, I thought I'd make my way down to the tracks for the early races.
Uh-oh. How's your luck been?
No, well enough. No, not as bad as some. Last week, I was in the queue behind Lord Bassington. Do you know him?
Oh, red-faced chap with the temper.
Yes, that's the one. Well, that temper of his was getting some exercise near the end of the final race. Oh, he must have lost a bundle.
Oh, a man like that can always pull out another bundle.
Yeah, lucky man.
Oh. Many compliments of the season to you, John.
You as well, Timothy. Well, I must be going.
John. It is our first season, our very first Christmas without Mary. It is good to spend it with friends. Makes the weight a bit lighter, don't you think?
A bit, yes. The truth is, I'm also low from an encounter with an old friend.
Oh, let me deduce. He is harshly thin, impassively rude, and has something of a reputation as a consulting detective.
But how is it that everyone but me has the knack for that trick?
It takes a little deduction to guess that the great Sherlock Holmes is the cause of your discontent.
He claims that I have a financial interest in our friendship.
An unworthy supposition.
A correct one.
Really?
Well, at least in part. Like all of his deuced suppositions. My practice has been quiet of late, and with the addition of the house, I could use a bit more pocket change. I like writing those stories. Sherlock Holmes is the most brilliant man She, of course, feigned interest in his memorabilia, all the while covertly giving it a heavy dusting.
Oh, he must have been an aggravating fellow, Roger.
Infuriating. By turns, hyperactive and comatose. An addict of tobacco and his deuced 7% solution. Self-taught violinist, capable of ear-scratching improvisations that sound like cats mating. A repressed egotist who says that he cares nothing for public opinion, yet he courts compliments like a young girl. Sherlock Holmes is impossible. Do you know what he did? Oh, one long summer afternoon with my service revolver. He took a box of cartridges. He sat in an armchair on one side of the room, and he proceeded to impress the initials of our queen onto the opposite wall with bullet holes.
Good Lord. I was between cases.
He routinely made slighting comments about my intelligence. And he let me believe that he was dead for 3 years before showing up at my practice disguised as an itinerant bookseller, causing me to fall over in a dead faint.
That disguise was a triumph.
He routinely had clients trooping in and out of our study at any time of the day or night, including an unending succession of attractive young women, all of whom, with the exception of my dear late wife, preferred flirting with him to flirting with me. Sherlock Holmes is the worst person to live with that you can imagine.
You see, Spirit, much as I suspected.
Why did you live with him for 10 years?
Because I liked him. Because Sherlock Holmes is the most remarkable man I've ever met. And I know him. I know he's moved by his choice of life. Which when he's feeling meditative, which when he's feeling disputatious. Now, Sherlock Holmes is my dearest friend, whether or not he ever acknowledges it again.
This is why you sought him out yesterday.
Yes. And yes, I enjoy taking notes on his cases more than taking care of my own. Why should I be a doctor? Which bores me when I could be the friend and companion of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, and with Mary's death, I'll admit to it, I am lonely. I may seem a sociable chap, but really I can get in the dumps. And there's one thing about Sherlock Holmes. He defies solitude.
You need to take another wife, John. You are a convivial soul, and solitude gives you no pleasure.
This last marriage was not my first, but it shall indeed be my last. I have no spirit for another.
I am sorry for your rift with your friend, John. However, this may pass. This is the season most likely to affect a thaw in the frozen temperament of any man.
Holmes doesn't change with the seasons. He merely advances unrelentingly like a glacier.
You'd be surprised, John. When I was a lad, my father's employer was a terrible old skinflint, hard and cold as a stone quarry. Yet one Christmas, we received an anonymous gift of a huge goose, and the next day a visit from the repentant old sinner himself who sent it. Within a month, it was Uncle Ebenezer for the old chap, who looked after me as though I were his own son. All due apparently to a long Christmas Eve spent contemplating his sins. Perhaps your friend will be as fortunate.
Well, I have my doubts. Well, Uncle Ted, with your permission, I will offer one final toast to Sherlock Holmes.
To Sherlock Holmes.
My dearest friend, and the most remarkable man I have ever met.
Well? Well, what?
Is this
my deduction is faulty?
To deduce, my dear Holmes, is not to know. Do you believe that the character of a man can be summed up in so many frayed collars and dripped candle wax?
My observations were correct. He confirmed them.
There is nothing so dull as a man who traffics only in sharp observations. Has he, or has he not, been a loyal friend?
Loyalty is not something you can expect from a man who abandons friendship and camaraderie for the supposed pleasures of hearth and home.
Ah, he is a married man.
Well, yes. Well, widowed. His wife died while I was out of the country.
And so he is alone again.
Well, what of it? So am I.
Holmes, for a genius, your flashes of stupidity are quite remarkable. Come, another scene.
7 Dials. This is a treacherous place.
Though one familiar to you.
I am familiar with every street in London. And I know this boy. It's young Eli, one of my irregulars.
Oi, Topper!
Well,
No good.
still, who's watching the street?
Ross, I think.
You think?
Well, I told him to. I don't know if he listens to me.
Listen, Eli, you make sure he listens to you.
He's just a little kid.
We're all just kids. And right now, we're a gang of kids without a leader, but with wings locked up nice and tight and naked and lifting some tossed watch.
What's in him?
You know that, and I know that. But we ain't about to convince the peddlers, is we? They ain't just gonna throw open the doors of the steel because it's Christmas. Now, give me the story again.
Wiggins and me was walking in Mansions when this bloke was running the constable and grabbed Wiggins. According to him, Wiggins lifted his watch on the omnibus going east of Cannon Street and left off at Mansions.
And you're sure Wiggins didn't lift this tossed watch?
He was never on the omnibus. He was on the street, and Wiggins ain't no dipper.
Today isn't. But our man Wiggins has a prior record of such like activities. And this prior record is a problem.
Of what?
Before your time, before we had our position with Mr. Holmes, Wiggins was the best dipper this side of the river. Only he was something of a player, he was. That's why the professor's gang had him turned in. Twice.
Is that what Mr. Holmes did?
No. He met our lad when Wiggins tried to lift Mr. Holmes' own clock on the street.
Oh, Lord.
God's truth. Mr. Holmes said he admired his skill and signed him up for service right there and then.
Well, where's Mr. Holmes now?
You took the note.
Straight to the landlady. Told her it was an hour drive from here.
Then why won't he come?
What about that friend of his? The doctor?
Watson, that was his name.
Why not find him? And now go find Mr. Holmes.
And how we do that then? Do you have perhaps a record of every bleeding cove in the whole of London?
Someone might.
No one I know.
Williams would know what to do.
Why didn't you tell the constable you wasn't on the bus?
Did. And you know what he said?
Even if it's not your mate, my lad, he'll do just as well. He's guilty of something.
He almost told me off as well.
It's hopeless. I ain't Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I ain't even Wiggins. I got no idea what to do.
Oh, Mr. Holmes come.
Well, why should he? He's a bleeding world-famous detective who has lords and ladies beating down his door to ask for assistance. And Wiggins is just cheap rubbish that the street sweeper wouldn't be bothered with. Just like us.
Might be sick or dead.
I hope so. I hope it's either one. And so a very Merry Christmas to us all.
That was how I met Wiggins. He lifted my watch down near Covent Garden, and I did not notice its absence till I was up on Tottenham Court Road. I doubt very much his accuser would have noticed. The boy was something of an artist.
No doubt there is a criminal stain in the boy's blood.
Nonsense! The only crime he can be accused of is poverty and neglect. I doubt very much this boy is guilty.
So what if he isn't? Why does yet another example of whining humanity move you?
Because I know this boy's spirit. He trusts and believes in me.
So he does. And so do they all. Thousands, multitudes more like these children. Those who you have saved and those who merely draw hope from the example of who you are. You would doubt your own brilliance. Leave this child and others like him in the darkness from nothing more than a
lack of faith in your fellow man. You are Sherlock Holmes. If you were not, who do you believe would be? Would be? Would be? Gone. And where am I? When am I? Who am I? Who is Sherlock Holmes if he's a mystery to himself? My fourth ghostly visitor. I can scarcely see you as you are, wreathed in shadows and darkness. But it is easy to guess your name. Christmas yet to come. You have a more funereal aspect than your predecessors. Well, let us be on our way. You have some lessons to show me, yes? And finally, the spirit of silent dread, not moral instruction. Well, let us be on our way to a Christmas yet to come. I know this place. That street that runs along that small sad cemetery near King's Cross.
Well, well, if it isn't all bean feast.
Crumbling cake, Merry Christmas, how have you been?
Or fair to Midland, as they say. Sorry for your loss.
What? Oh, this mother-in-law.
Oh.
Sorry for yours.
Oh, first wife. Condition of the will, you see. Every Christmas, snow or shine, a sprig of holly on the gravestone. Damned nuisance, but one has an obligation.
Oh, indeed.
Speaking of obligations, found myself a mourner this afternoon, quite unexpectedly.
How's that?
Oh, just down over there. Fellow getting buried. Wandered past out of curiosity's sake. Imagine my surprise when I heard the priest mention the poor fellow's name. I knew him.
You did?
Yes, did you, Warren?
Who was he?
As if it's gone right out of my head. But you knew him. Oh, he was always going about with that other fellow, trundling about the country, solving crimes.
Oh, yes, I know who you mean. Something who and what's his noodle?
Yes, them. Quite the celebrities they were.
Self-promoters, more like. Interfering in official police business, consorting with unsavory types and putting on airs.
Yes, that was a long time ago.
So who's at the funeral?
Oh, afraid it was just me and the priest. Couldn't very well go wandering off after I'd been spotted. Don't think the man had much in the way of family and less in the way of friends.
Oh, you think his former partner would have put in an appearance?
Oh, they had some sort of falling out. Can't remember about what. Oh, it was such a long time ago. Always thought he'd make more of a name for himself. Talented and intelligent in his own way.
And you were the single mourner. That's what comes from leading an unconventional life. Those who live strange die strangers. Well, we must have lunch.
Yes, we must.
Oh, as long as we can find someone to pick up the check.
Jackals, unfeeling, repulsive, yet not without a lesson for me. I understand, Spirit. A poor unborn man is myself. I can and should mend my life. Yet if I am to pass from the renown of the world, so be it. But what of my London? How fare its citizens? Have my methods been adopted by the constabulary? Take me into the city, and let me see the men and women of time to come.
If you say so.
Watcher!
Here now, my man. We aren't looking for no trouble.
Neither am I. Just a bit of Christmas cheer.
Well, in that case, Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
And what would cheer me up the best is your wallet, your watch, and your jewelry, man.
Wiggins, dear Lord.
Father, do as he says.
Well, now, suppose we don't choose to give them to you.
I met someone like you about 18 years ago. He accused me of stealing his watch. Funny thing was, I didn't touch it. Not so funny thing, I spent 15 years in the steel because of it. In a cell the size of a privy, under the silent
You listen to me.
Words forbidden, you see. So excuse me if I don't relish casual conversation. Now, if I were you, I'd do as you told. We got a bit of stuff here. Against it. Do I make myself clear?
No! This is senseless, Spirit. The boy was industrious and ambitious. Surely his character would not be so changed. Or surely another would step in when I chose not to. Is the world after me so dark? I ask you, show me good men, a scene of humanity and good feelings. Mud, barbed wire, craters, corpses. Is this hell you show me now, Spirit?
Halt! Password! Princess Mary made a plum pudding.
Major.
Merry Christmas, Albert.
Same to you, sir.
Garrison?
Albert, who made up today's password?
I did, sir.
A little more imagination next time. It is Christmas Eve, after all, and what is everyone in His Majesty's services tucking into about now?
They're Princess Mary boxes sent down from HQ.
Some of those Jerrys aren't as dim as you might think.
Sorry, sir. I ain't exactly a Sherlock Holmes when it comes to making up passwords.
Excused. Perhaps you could find yourself one of the boys who enjoys codes and ciphers, that sort of thing, to lend you a hand next time. I met him, you know.
Who?
Sherlock Holmes. Believe it or not, I met him when I was a young officer at Scotland Yard.
Sherlock.
I did. Used to come by and help the force when the mood suited him.
What was he like?
Brilliant. In just 5 minutes, he could solve a case that we've been struggling with for a week. Half the time, he didn't even need to leave his flat. But a cold fish. Wouldn't give you so much as a how do you do.
I never met a one of them that would.
A one of who?
Them, the toffs, the bleeding aristocracy.
No, Holmes wasn't like that. Didn't matter who you were, he treated you the same. Rudely. But he was passionate for justice. Or so I thought. I suppose I was wrong.
Whatever happened to him?
Retired. At the height of his career. Became some sort of a recluse, I hear. I'm surprised you still remember his name.
Well, he was a legend, wasn't he?
For a while. What's the news from up the line?
Morale is low, sir. No significant gain in ground in months. Trench foot is rampant, and a lot of the men are wondering what happened to all the talk about us being home by Christmas.
This stalemate was inevitable. We've the same weapons and the same tactics. Sometimes I wonder if we've the same generals.
Oh, true, but remember, we've got the professor, and I hear he's got a trick or two up his sleeve that'll give Fritz something to think about.
The professor?
That's what I hear, too. Glad to hear he's working on our side and not the Jerry. You know they say he's working on a land ironclad now.
That'll give Fritz a shock now, won't it? Yeah. What's that?
It sounds like our friends across the way have taken up choral practice.
I know that one. It's Silent Night.
It's not half bad.
Good singers on their side. Reminds me of the kids back home in the church choir. Yeah, what's that? That's our boys.
It is indeed.
shouldn't be encouraging.
Albert, it's Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Englishman!
Freuliche Weihnachten! Same to you, Fritz! Albert, ask the boys if they know the first Noel. Let's give them a proper English Christmas carol.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Tommy, come over and visit us.
No, you come over here first, if you're not too full of your German sausages.
Major,
Yes, Albert.
what started all this?
Well, as I understand it, it was the assassination of the Austrian Archduke.
The Jerry's did him in.
No, it was an anarchist, I believe.
Oh, but they invaded Belgium.
And we couldn't have that, could we?
No, I suppose not. Not gallant little Belgium.
Precisely.
But, sir,
Yes, Albert.
I've been having thoughts.
Like what?
Is it treason to wonder if it's moral? This I mean.
Albert, a soldier who doesn't wonder why he's expected to kill other men may be a good soldier, but he's not a good man. I once believed that there was a bright, shining line drawn somewhere with those who killed for passion and for personal gain on one side. And then on the other side were soldiers who killed for glory and for love of country, but now I'm not so sure.
Neither am I.
Please, don't you shoot! Don't you shoot! I have brought you some sausages, Tommy. Bratwurst and Knackwurst. Here, Merry Christmas.
Oh, to you as well. Here.
Oh, don't you?
I fruitcake as well, my friend. But that would probably be interpreted as a hostile act.
They're crossing up and down the line, sir. The soldiers are walking across the field on our side and theirs. What shall I tell the men?
They need no orders, Albert. It's Christmas. We all know what that's supposed to mean. Perhaps we can get more singing going, yes, Jerry?
Yeah, here, I'll bet you know this one. My nursemaid taught it to me. Oh, Tannenbaum, die Kreuzen deiner Blatter. Oh, Tannenbaum, die Kreuzen deiner Blatter.
In a field of death and barbed wire, those men celebrate Christmas. Singing together, exchanging gifts. It is mad. Yet, which is the madness? The truce of a war. If Christmas is madness or fancy or merely a myth, still it asserts our common humanity. I wonder, with these men, why they're on two sides of a battlefield. Who is responsible for this? And what of this professor? I must know more. Oh, please, Spirit, my heart is filled with dread supposition. Show me those who have brought this terrible thing to pass.
Good day, General.
To you, ma'am. Very Merry Christmas. Will you be joining us at the officers' club this evening? I hear marvelous things of the new cook.
Is he a frog like the last one?
Oh, no. Belgian, I believe. Can cook a proper roast beef without any of those damn sauces.
Well, I may stop in. So, tell me, what's the news from the professor?
He's on his way here now. Information on the new secret weapon. As you know, we've heard rumblings for months now about something similar from the Jerrys, but thus far they've refrained from using it.
What's the good of a weapon you don't use?
General, ma'am, daily dispatch.
News from the Western Front?
No actions to report, ma'am.
Except for a few sorties, eh?
No, ma'am, no.
Russell,
Sir,
it reports on what our artillery did to the Jerrys.
according to the report, sir, neither side exchanged any hostilities at all.
What? No hostilities?
No, ma'am. There were reports of singing.
From the Jerrys?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Hans are sentimental lot.
And from our side, sir. What? Singing. Each side was reportedly singing carols, man.
Is this a war or a gleek, man?
Anything else, Russell?
Gifts were exchanged, apparently.
Well, of course, we have no problem with our soldiers exchanging Christmas gifts as long as protocol is followed.
Officers to officers, enlisted men to enlisted men, that sort of thing.
Yes, sir.
A time of universal brotherhood.
And that sort of thing.
Yes, ma'am, but what I meant was the Germans on our side. They were exchanging gifts with each other. The Germans started it with their sausages and cigarettes. Some of the French were giving out their long bread and wine, and our men had their Princess Mary boxes, as well as some beer they were making free with.
Wine?
Beer?
Yes, sir. Apparently there was drinking involved.
Who is responsible for this?
Ma'am?
What officer gave permission for this to occur?
No single officer, ma'am.
Officers, then, who gave the order that we could simply stop a war in the middle of the day and sing drinking songs with the enemy?
No one, sir. It was a spontaneous outbreak of the season.
The season?
The Yuletide season.
Russell,
Sir.
send out an official memo to all of our troops to be ready at reveille tomorrow morning. Fraternization with soldiers of a foreign power with whom we are at war is a treasonable offence, which is to say punishable by court-martial, and will be dealt with accordingly.
Yes, sir.
This is precisely the sort of nonsense that will lose us this war.
You may go, Russell.
Yes, sir. Oh, and sir.
What?
The professor has arrived.
Show him in immediately.
What were you thinking, girl?
Beg pardon, sir. When I entered, he was sitting in the vestibule reading. Said he was in no hurry, and I should tell you he was here only when I was leaving.
Russell, who do you think has rank here? The two of us or the professor?
Candidly, sir?
Never mind. Show him in now.
General? Ma'am?
Professor.
That's not Moriarty. That's...
Let's make this meeting brief. My lab awaits.
We are hoping for an update on your research regarding project codenamed Persian Slipper.
Complete success, as I said it would be. Colorless, odorless, seeps right through any filters the enemy troops might have.
Incapacitating?
Fatal in 90% of the cases of inhalation.
Beats chlorine hollow.
Beats them all hollow.
How do we deliver it?
Gas grenades, lofted in mortar canisters. I have sent the blueprints for the necessary casings to the factory. We ought to have the first units out to the front by the end of the week.
Just in time for the new year.
Woof for that new gas, and we'll hear how Jerry sings.
Capital.
Yes, well, a bit of a problem here. What should we do if we are using the new gas and the wind should,
Shift. You could have casualties among your own troops. But since the exercise is to create fear, as well as destroy as many men as possible, the look on that as a mixed blessing.
Professor, you've done it again. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
For me, it's elementary. Now, I must return to my lab.
And honest, sir, and may I just say,
Yeah?
I was quite a fan of yours when I was a lad. Oh, never thought I'd have the chance to meet in person the great Sherlock Holmes.
I no longer use that name. Refer to me simply as Professor, if you wish to retain my services.
Of course. Terribly sorry. Well,
Doc, brilliant, but hopeless with people. Don't think he likes them very much.
wouldn't be the professor if he did, what?
Glad he's on our side. I don't think it matters to him.
Am I to become this man? This monster? Oh, this is nothing less than hell. Watson? Watson! Where is Watson? Oh, kind spirit, if you have any thoughts of mercy, take me to my friend.
Dosimetry
secretary. Why are we back here? And why do you gesture toward that tombstone? Ah! Dr. John Watson! This is who those men spoke of? Here in this lonely grave. This good man should die alone and forgotten, and I should live to become that! It is injustice! It is injustice! It is what I have brought unto myself. Oh, kind Spirit, please, please erase these horrible shadows. Please tell me that they are yet to come, but need not come, that there is still time to mend my life, that the thread is not cut, but can be raveled still. Please tell me that I may escape the sins of pride and vanity, of disdain for those who are my fellow travelers to the grave, and live to learn. Oh, please, I beg you, I beg you, I beg you, I beg you. I am home, in my rooms, alone. But I need not remain so. I can change. I will change. I am Sherlock Holmes. But I am also nothing more than a man and a sinner whose soul has been granted a reprieve. Oh, thank you, most kind spirits. And Moriarty, you most of all, thank you. And forgive me.
Mr. Holmes! Mr. Holmes!
Who's there?
Thomas, sir. Member of the Baker Street Irregulars. I apologise for this intrusion, sir, but it's a matter of grave concern to one who's always held you in high esteem.
Young Wiggins.
It's Wiggins, sir. How did you know that?
It is my business to know such things, Topper. Now, do me the very good favor of taking down the following dictation. You have some facility in shorthand, as I recall.
Wiggins taught me, sir.
Very good. I need your assistance in sending a pair of telegrams. First one then. To Scotland Yard, attention, Inspector Garrison. Have heard of your case. Stop. Meet me tomorrow morning at the Old Bailey, 9 o'clock sharp. Stop. Your instincts are correct, comma, the clerk is innocent. Stop. Have all that, Topper?
Yes, sir.
I am almost positive that it is old Lord Bassington himself who has stolen the jewellery and means to place the blame upon his daughter's unsuitable suitor. But inquiries must be found. Now, second one then, to Scotland Yard, attention Inspector Lestrade. Please look in on the case of Wiggins. Stop. Theft charge. Stop. Review witness testimony. Stop. No omnibus goes east on Cannon Street past Mansion House Station. Stop. Witness either lying or confused. Semicolon. Wiggins clearly innocent. Stop. Please release immediately. Stop. Merry Christmas. Stop. Now, here's a guinea. Take these to the telegraph office at once.
I'll be back with your change in 10 minutes.
Oh, no. You will not. You will add it to this and go on to Fortnum & Mason's, where you will purchase one of their large gift baskets to be sent to this address and the attention of Dr. John Watson. Then you will take this note to the maitre d' at Goldini's restaurant. Instruct him to prepare the back room for dinner for how many members are there of the irregulars at present?
Including Wiggins, sir?
Of course!
That would be 11.
Dinner for 11 then. You and the rest of the force are to enjoy any with the exception of alcoholic spirits, as my guests.
Goldini's is a bit posh, Mr. Holmes. They ain't likely to have the likes of us in.
No, money is a great social leveler, Topper. But you are right. In that case, take this banknote and instruct you and your companions to book themselves into a Turkish bath for the afternoon, and then use this note to get you and the rest of the force sharpened up. New clothes all around. You are my employees. And it does not do well for my professional reputation to have you lacking proper apparel for a celebratory evening out. Merry Christmas, boy. You have earned it.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, I'm so very sorry. I left the front door unlocked as I swept the steps. He must have slipped in.
Not at all, Mrs. Hudson. It is I who am sorry.
Sir?
You have been so kind as to have me as a guest in your house, and I have repaid you with discourtesy and an appalling lack of respect. Dear Mrs. Hudson, might I ask for your forgiveness for my unspeakable rudeness of the last few months?
Well, seeing what I've put up with from you, I should say. But seeing as it's Christmas.
Oh, well, the Christmas season at least.
Oh, no, sir. Today is Christmas morning. You have been distracted.
Christmas morning? Today? Wondrous spirits! They accomplished their mission all in a single evening. Oh, God bless them. And God bless you, my dear Mrs. Hudson. And again, apologies. Oh, and thank you for the pipe. Although I suspect that was Watson's gift, but you knew how to hide it. And a quick peck on your dear cheek, if you don't mind. And now, and I must be going. But perhaps first I should change.
Yes, it is a bit nippy, but just the dressing gown, sir.
You are the soul of good common sense, my dear Mrs. Hudson. Merry Christmas!
Just a moment.
Delivery for you, sir. What? From who? Oh, here's a card.
A friend.
Yeah, who? I'm not sure I can say, sir.
A wheel of cheddar, Darjeeling tea, have a smoked ham. Cremant. But there's only one man who knows my taste so intimately. No, it's Holmes!
Watson, what?
Holmes, is this basket from you?
It is. I am in need of your services.
What?
Your services?
Oh, yeah. Oh, but something else on, I suppose. Shall I make my service remark?
I do not mean a case.
Oh, are you injured in some fashion?
No. Yes. I have been. But it is even now healing. I had a dream. Or rather, a series of dreams.
I was unaware that you ever dreamed.
Oh, I rarely remember them, but this one I do. Perhaps one day I will narrate it to you. It would make an interesting coda to my recorded cases.
Oh, yes.
And here is another present.
Oh, a new folder.
I am such a fool. I could read the marks of tallow on your hat, and yet I did not make the proper deduction, which is, you need a new hat.
Well, thank you, Holmes. Have you opened my gift to you?
I have.
I noticed that you seem to have lost those on your travels.
And more than my hat. Watson, could I be your friend again?
When did we stop being friends?
When I would not allow you to. I'm afraid I have behaved abominably.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I intentionally misinterpreted your motives to mirror my own dark mood. You are, and have always been a fixed point in my existence. You are my Boswell, my chronicler. And I am lost without you.
I don't know what to say.
Well, say that you forgive me, and then you might consider, if your current domestic situation is not ideal, returning as my fellow lodger.
Oh, don't, to Baker Street.
I will never be a tidy man, and I'm afraid I will always have my moods, but I will keep my chemical experiments well ventilated, and I forswear all future indoor target practice.
Yes, I will consider it.
Oh, thank you, old friend.
Oh, hang it all, Holmes. Of course. When shall I come?
Oh, tonight is not too soon.
What? But I do have an invitation.
Oh, yes, Mary's uncle.
Yes.
Well then, tomorrow.
Yes. You are still invited, you know. Despite knowing how you loathe society.
Well, society has its limitations. Party games. But so does solitude. And my friend, I have had far too much of the latter recently. Please tell your uncle I would be delighted to come.
Yes.
Topper.
Yes, Mr.
Let us quickly make up a list of dolls, hoops, tops, and such like you can purchase in Hamleys to gratify any children who might be present.
As Holmes spoke with his young assistant, it was clear to me that though I'd seen him but the night before, since then he had been on a long and lonely journey, and had now come to a point where I could rejoin him, which was the greatest gift that I could ask for on that bright Christmas morning.
And now, be off, boy, and then rejoin your brethren for a soak and a supper. And now, my dear Watson, a toast to friendship.
To friendship and the Yuletide season.
Yes, a season of joy, charity, and forgiveness. God bless it.
God bless us.
Yes, every one.